Nithyanandam, with auspicious grace and blessings of my Guru, His Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda Swami, I welcome you to this video today, where I answer one FAQ about taking sannyas, which may come from someone from the West. And I actually identify with someone coming from the West because I was born and brought up in the US, raised in Texas. But I have my Purvashan parents, biological parents, they are actually from India. So I have that cultural influences as well growing up. But I never had any experience of living outside of the US, let alone India. India, I'd only visited relatives growing up. So the question is, I love Swamiji. People may ask, I love Swamiji. I want to be a part of his mission. I want to spread his teachings. Can I just do it from where I'm at? I'm not sure if I want to live in India, change the lifestyle, whatnot. Will I be able to be successful at that lifestyle? I'm used to kind of the Western kind of living. There are some, it may not be these exact questions, but there'll be these types of questions where there's a little bit of a hesitation to physically move and make the decision. I can't say I really had these questions beforehand because the pull to go, the decision to go was so strong. I knew I could handle anything. But when I was in the Aadheenam, definitely, especially in the early days, there were times where, I was adapting to, from a lifestyle perspective, was adapting to different type of food. I was adapting to wearing saris every day. And keep in mind, before joining the Aadheenam, I'd only wear a sari to like a friend's engagement or to a wedding, so it was not something I was used to doing. I was adapting to the language and just the whole lifestyle of being in one big community. There was a point where I was like, I don't know, can I do this? Because you feel like I felt a little bit like it was a struggle at certain points. And then I looked at some other, the Sannyasis that were living there. There was two. One was from Australia and one was from France. And I just saw how very easily they were just like enjoying the food. And I actually have exposure. I grew up on South Indian food. So it's not like I'm new to this kind of food. But I could see the way they were adapting. They were more senior to me. And when I looked at them, I said, if they can do it, I can do it. And that was it. That whole feeling of, this is difficult. Am I going to be able to make this full transition? It just left because I was reminded of my context. I'm not there to live like I used to live, right? I'm there to live the Vedic lifestyle. I'm there to focus on what matters, which is sharing Swamiji's teachings with the world, achieving enlightenment. And when that context is there, it doesn't matter where you live. Like you can be in the Aadheenam, you can be assigned to go somewhere else around the world. There'll be a different culture. There'll maybe be different food. There'll be different ways to communicate. So there's no set guarantee of what your outside surroundings are going to be. But if you're clear on why you want to become an Aadheenam, why you want to take up sannyas, then it really won't matter anything else. And those things you'll see are actually beautiful life changes for you. The things that you may be hesitating towards, or things you'll see that that hesitation is just pointing you to some incompletion that doesn't need to be inside of you. It's something that needs to be dropped. It has nothing to do with food, it has nothing to do with the dress. It's your receptivity to life, the welcoming you have to what life has in store for you. And dropping all the cozy comforts and ideas of what we have about what what we're comfortable with, what we're happy with, because all of that was generated from our incompletions. The space of incompletion or wrong cognitions of what is important in life. So if you're serious about taking sannyas and you're not from India, I would say just remind yourself of the context. Think about your whole life perspective. Think about what Swamiji's done for you. Think about the breakthrough he's giving for humanity, and decide accordingly. And just make a list. I mean, if you make a list of all the pros and then all your incompletions, there's no comparison. But you owe it to yourself to look into it. Because the more completion you do before you make any big decision, the better off you are when the decision happens. So, again, and if you're still having some kind of questions, you're not sure to who to ask because they may seem silly or whatnot, you're more than welcome to ask me, and I'll do my best to answer those questions or find out the answers for you. Now, the Aadheenam is constantly changing. My experience of like the food or the number of international people is like flip-flop. I mean, it's like just totally expanded, and there's so many differences now. But if you're carrying the space of incompletion, it doesn't matter how many resources is available to you, how much welcoming people are, or how great the food is, you will find something to be incomplete about. So the real lesson is, if something is bothering you, if you're hesitating about something, look into that, not the things that are provoking the hesitation, not the things that are provoking the fear. They're just triggers, and it's by design. The cosmos is very precise and how you're worked on and how your incompletions are revealed to you. And constantly reminders are sent. So when you get a reminder like this, when you're hesitating about something you know is going to just transform your life, that means that hesitation, that incompletion needs to be just done an acid wash and just dropped from your life. So again, if you have any questions or any doubts that need to be clarified, please message me. And thank you for allowing me to share. And Nithyanandam.